Death War here. No intro today, boys and girls. Bald Man in trouble. We're going to be diving into his reaction to his ban. He's been banned for 7 days for calling Denims a terrorist supporter, as well as this other girl. I have no idea who she is. Calling her what they are. We'll just say that in the words of that one woman who confronted that little boy in the park for stealing out of her purse. Shiloh Hendricks. Okay, he didn't say that word, but he did call them what they are. Not a terrorist supporter. That's not what he called them. Even though they are. But he called them, let's just say, OnlyFans girls, if you catch my drift. I don't want to say it too early because YouTube might, not be too pleased with me if I start saying inappropriate things this early in the video. But he did say that to them after they called him a bunch of not so nice things, I believe. And we're going to dive right into that. Last time he was banned, it's because he called Frogan what she is as well. Fat. And as you might guess, anybody who orbits Hassan, or in this case, Hassan orbits Frogan because she's so massive she has her own gravitational pull, ends up being able to get away with and say anything they want. Whether that be calling for violent extremism and unaliving sitting senators, or simply untrue, slanderous accusations against other streamers, while those other streamers, when they try to fight back and say anything, get a much longer ban. Let's go ahead and hop right into his video, and we can absorb the information that this bald man can give us on his ban. Let's learn together.
Well, boys, look where we're at once again. Yep, you read the title right. I have been banned for the third time in about 60 days. This one looks like it's going to be my longest ban yet. Yes, it looks like I will be banned for 7 long days on Twitch. Will they let me appeal it? I don't know, but I assure you when I tell you why I've gotten banned, man, I bet you're going to think, wow, that's completely justified. Wow, that really makes sense. Yeah, it definitely won't be hypocritical, and
I'm going to be honest, I probably won't think that. I probably won't think that at all. In fact, I don't know if anybody's going to think that, because we all know that Twitch is messed up and doesn't enforce their terms of service evenly and fairly to all streamers on their platform, which is why they're being sued right now, and I hope that they get screwed in court.
Preferential treatment towards people on the far left once again. Yes, if you want to do me a favor, I will be streaming every single day at 9 a.m. CST on YouTube and Kick. Kick especially, I'm going to be linking in my description and the pinned comment. A follow on that stream would be genuinely, incredibly helpful, as well as tune into the YouTube live stream. And the most important thing, please subscribe to my channel and turn the bell on for all notifications. This has been the most successful.
By the way, guys, I have also been considering streaming on Kick. And if any of you are interested in that, I will find a way to post the link here. Let me know, and we can get a party going over on Kick. We can get everything set up and get it rolling. I don't know what we'll do there, but we'll figure it out.
Past 75 days of my career ever. I have gained over 80,000 subscribers in a short 70 days. I am upcoming on 900,000.
80,000 subscribers in 70 days is insane. Holy crap. I've had other channels where I've done decently a while back. They're like dead now, but back then when I was using them when I was younger, I managed to get like 3,000 in 90 days, and I thought that was great. I can only imagine getting 80,000 in 70 days. I would be happy if we could get to 80,000 on this channel at all. If I could just get to the point with this channel where I could earn an income from it and do it full time, I'd be happy, because my health has been kind of crap the past couple of years, and I'm getting surgery to hopefully correct this month, but I have no guarantees of anything, and my body has basically been working against me to the point where I can't even do the things I used to do, because I used to do physically demanding jobs for work, and the past couple of years, I've basically watched my life kind of fall down around me, strained my relationships with everybody except my wife. Thankfully, she stuck around with me, and dealt with repeated bacterial infections in my head, sometimes twice a month, and been on more antibiotics than I know what to do with, to the point where I almost feel like I can't function as a human being. This, however, is one of those few things that I actually can manage to do, and I don't want sympathy from any of you or care about that. I'm just bringing it up as the fact that 80,000 subscribers is crazy, and I would be super grateful to ever even hit that number. I could only imagine getting to 1 million. That would just be, like, mind-blowing to me. So congratulations to Tectone for actually being able to grow that quickly. I pray that one day this channel does some numbers like that, but you know, I don't want to start wishing and then nothing, happens. That would just suck. But yeah, at the same time, it would definitely be a miracle and a godsend for me.
You know what comes next? 1 million. It's been a dream of mine for over 7 million to eventually hit that number. And it's crazy because I think it actually might finally be attainable. For 7 years, I've been trying to get this. And it's thanks to a lot of people like Asmongold who shouted out my Kick channel, and I gained 8,000 follows in 5 minutes, which was insane. Hasanabi for being a perpetual dumbass and allowing me to farm him for the past 3 weeks and gaining over, I think I've gained about 25,000 subs off of just Hassan content alone, which really isn't that much, but it still is quite nice.
What do you mean that isn't that much, bro? This channel I'm on right now has 4 subscribers. 25,000 subs would be awesome to hit that quickly. All from making content on an actual retard. I'm actually shocked. I pray that this channel could grow at those types of rates. That's like exponentially crazy in my mind. I can only imagine what that must feel like. It's gotta feel amazing.
And most importantly, just the overall perpetual cycle of retards on the internet that I get to make content of every single day. Because here at twitch.tv/Tectone, youtube.com/Tectone, kick.com/Tectone, we make a living off of making fun of dumb people. It's great. Now, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Please like the video, please leave a comment, and share this with your friends. And by the way, if you are a streamer reacting to this or a YouTuber reacting to this, I fully consent to this and I greatly encourage it. And I really appreciate you sharing some light.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that you give me your permission to react to the thing that I was already going to react to without your permission. Thank you. I guess I have Tectone's blessing to make this video, guys. Let's get the message out there. Tectone's has been wronged. Yeah, I'll link the original video down in the comments at the very least. I'm sure he doesn't need it. I barely have any, I'm like a fart in the wind compared to him. But at the same time, it's probably the right thing to do. So, and about my comments earlier, about the thing with my health, I don't want that to be misconstrued. I don't want anybody's sympathy. I don't want any points for that. If you don't like my content, I don't really expect you to watch it because you feel fucking sorry for me or something. Don't fucking do that. That actually would make me feel worse. So I'd really prefer that if you genuinely like my content, watch the content. If you don't, then don't. I don't care. I'm just pointing out that it would be nice if I did obtain those types of goals. But anybody and everybody would want those goals regardless. And everybody has life struggles, so I totally get it. And I hope that anybody who puts their mind to it and truly wants their goal in life can actually achieve that goal. That's all I wanted to say, because I felt like I wasn't clear enough on that earlier when I said the comments that I said. I just don't want anybody to think I'm trying to garner sympathy, because I'm fucking not. I hate people that try to gain sympathy points on the internet, and I don't want to be one of those people. It just feels scummy to me to do that. Even if you, I guess you're like dying of cancer or something that's different. Like you're in like an actual hole and you genuinely need it, then that's one thing. But like for people who use their medical conditions to try to gain clout and that sort of thing, I'm not huge on that type of person, and I don't want to be that type of person. So just ignore everything that I said, and let's just get back to the video.
On the absolute hypocrisy of Twitch, now with all that plugging out of the way, the sheer stupidity of this all is truly mind-boggling. So I want to walk you through the first time I ever got warned. So to remind you guys, the first time I ever got banned was me saying that Denim's only good content was on her OnlyFans and nobody should consider her worth listening to. Which,
I'm not going to lie, guys. I don't see the problem with that statement. It's accurate. So I'm also going to say that personally, I don't think Denim's is attractive. She's conventionally attractive. I don't think she's attractive because she has said and done some of the most scummy things that any current, public figure on the internet has done in recent time. I'm sure there's probably people that have, like, committed much worse crimes on the internet, obviously. But, like, in recent time, I would say that getting CPS called on Ethan Klein to have his children taken away under false pretenses is extremely scummy. I would say that putting a hit out on somebody and offering your audience money to unalive said person is illegal and scummy. I'm pretty sure that most of these things actually are illegal. And she's also quite dumb and has a very ugly personality. So when I look at her as the type of person that I am, and I see this person, any form of physical attractiveness just dissipates before my eyes, and all I can see is the ugly ogre underneath the skin. And I hope that a lot of people can wake up and come to that conclusion. I know some people don't care if she's scummy. They think, oh, I can fix her, and they just want to fap to it. Whatever. Or maybe they're genuinely into the sorts of things that she's doing. If so, you're sick, but do you, I guess. At the same time, though, I just don't like her. And I think that she is quite literally just scum, if I'm being quite honest with you. Anybody who does that to anybody, you know, like what she did to Ethan. I don't even like Ethan. I really don't. I hate him. I don't hate him, but I hate his political beliefs. I will say that. I don't hate him as a person. I have no reason. I don't know the guy, so I can't say I, like, personally don't like him. But I will say that I think he is stupid, and I don't agree with anything politically that he has to say. I do, however, believe... Actually, that's not true. I do believe Israel has a right to exist, and so does he. And I think that Palestine, the Palestinians, have a right to live. I don't believe that either side should be fighting each other, and I think that Hamas should give up the hostages and put an end to the stupid war. And I think that going after somebody's family because you disagree with them politically is actually just messed up, and that you don't deserve to walk among the public because you're using violence to further your political beliefs, which in this country happens to be illegal. You cannot use violence to further political beliefs. That is called terrorism, my friends. And yeah, whether you're actually out there in the streets, you know, committing, bombings or whatever is irrelevant when you're still terrorizing somebody to get them to agree with you. It's still a form of harassment and terrorism. So maybe you could make the argument of like, oh, you're stupid for claiming it's terrorism. No, it is. You're trying to terrorize somebody. Whatever. We can agree to disagree if that's your stance on it. But I still find her to be a very ugly human being regardless.
You know, to be honest, it was a little bit mean, but where's the lie? The second time I got banned was, and this one, I believe it was the second or the third. I'm trying to remember. The first time I ever got banned, I believe, was for telling a Twitch chatter to kill themselves. Which, to be completely honest, that was completely justified. I was reacting to anime. I told them to put a shotgun in their mouth and kill themselves. And to be fair, totally reasonable. I absolutely wear...
What? I didn't know about that. I didn't know that's what a reason that he got banned for. Okay, that was deserved. You deserved that. I'm not going to defend you on that. You don't tell people to do that, man. That's just not something you do. I'm vehemently opposed to telling people to unalive themselves. You don't know what type of life that person lives. Even if they're like scum, you know, you don't need to be responsible for the loss of life on the planet in any way, shape, or form, whether you were directly involved or you just said words to them or whatever. If it leads to somebody harming or, exiting life, shall we say, it's not worth it. And then when a big streamer does it, and if the chat starts turning on them to agree with the big streamer, you may push that person over the edge mentally, and it's just not something that you want to do. So, yeah, Tectones, you get an L for that, agreeably. I assume you learned from your mistakes, but definitely an L for that one. That one you deserved. Is it worse than calling for the unaliving of a sitting senator? No. Or any of the other things these people have done or said? No, I honestly don't know that it even comes close to a lot of the stuff that's been done or said by Hassan and his orbiters. However, it's definitely morally and ethically not something that you should do, and I definitely advise anybody out there not to tell people to do that, because, you know, you just don't know the person that you're saying it to if it's through the internet, you know? You might actually drive them to do it, then you have to live with that for the rest of your life. So, as, you know, just so you could sleep at night, and just so that, you know, people don't basically walk off the ledge, don't do that.
Wear that ban as a badge of dishonor, because I went over the deep end that day. I was very grumpy, to be fair. And I had a really big tummy ache too, but I have not ever told a chatter to kill themselves since then. I have learned from my mistake. Now, the next time I got banned.
Okay. I'll accept that. You know, we have bad days. Sometimes words just I mean, obviously, I'm not one to like generally care about like if somebody says something like to me or whatever, like words or whatever. But personally, I'm not gonna tell people to do that because it's like actually a legit thing that they might end up doing as an action, and if you will, if you call somebody a name or something, fine, because you know, sticks and stones might break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But when it comes to like having a ton of people ganging up on you in a Twitch chat, from that perspective, like it's one thing if it's just like, you know, some random guy, you still shouldn't do it. But like if you're just in the street in an argument with somebody and you say that and it's like a one-on-one argument, then it might be a little bit different than if somebody like you're in Tectone's chat and then he tells you to do that and then his whole chat maybe joins in and starts telling you to do that. Then all of a sudden you feel like you have, you know, thousands of people telling you that you shouldn't be alive. So that might actually, you know, not feel so great and might actually start to push you over the edge because there is power in numbers. So I would definitely advise not doing that in the future, but I'm glad that he learned from his mistakes. Just so we're clear, in my mind, it's a little bit of a call to violence, which is a little different than, you know, like I said, calling somebody a name.
Was me calling everybody's favorite streamer, Frogan, fat. Now, I want to remind you that Frogan is roughly 5'2" and roughly 300 pounds.
I mean,
so I got banned.
There's no lie there. That's just pointing out an intrinsic characteristic of somebody. She is fat. That is a fact. You can't, like, this is like saying that, hey, look at the sky. The sky is red. Then you look up and it's blue. And then the person says it's red, ain't it? That's what Twitch is doing here. No. Whether it hurts her feelings or not, it's true. And being called fat in the first place, if you are, shouldn't hurt your feelings. It should give you motivation to lose the weight. Because it's unhealthy. And maybe some of you, like a small percentage, might legit have like a thyroid disorder or something, like a metabolism problem of some kind. However, that's not the norm. And it's an overused excuse to be lazy and to overeat and not go to the gym. Quite frankly, I'm not one that really cares for like excuses on things that you could easily change yourself. Like something like being fat, because I used to be overweight and I lost all the weight. So when somebody acts like it's a legit disorder they have no control over because they're overweight, I just hear that and roll my eyes because I'm just like, man, you could lose the weight. You're just lazy. Unless, you know, if you have like a legit medical diagnosis, totally different thing. But like most people, it's just them being lazy. And it should get you to want to get up and better yourself so that they can't call you that again in the future. Because that's exactly why I lost the weight. Because I didn't like it when somebody called me fat, so I got off my ass and I started working out and eating better. And it's better for your health. Use it to better yourself. Because being fat is unhealthy. I don't know why this whole body positivity thing started where we suddenly tried to normalize being obese in the most overweight country in the world, but it's not something that we should be celebrating and protecting. It's something that needs to be addressed. Something that people shouldn't be getting upset over because their doctor told them they were obese. He's trying to help you. He's trying to tell you that you are going to have a heart attack at 40 years old because you're overweight. You need to take action for yourself. Stop trying to find shortcuts. Because if you take a shortcut, that's going to lead you right back to where you came from. And by shortcuts, I mean like surgery on your stomach or things like that, or liposuction. No, because you're going to go right back to the same habits you were doing before and you're going to gain all the weight back. If you want to lose weight, you got to actually change your lifestyle. That's the only way to do it. Anyway, I'm not a weight loss instructor. I'm just telling you how I see it. It's not an insult, even though in this case it should be because Frogan is a piece of shit. It's really not an insult. Frogan, as much as I don't like her, would be better off if she got off her ass and tried to lose weight. And just actually took the initiative to do so instead of complaining and getting people banned on Twitch when they tell her that she's fat, which she is.
For a descriptor. I call Krogan fat. I get banned for 2 weeks. It gets appealed down to 2 days and 18 hours, roughly. And by the way, this is after her saying that all American soldiers deserve PTSD, and as well as America deserve 9/11. Yes. Oh, by the way,
I would argue that those things are much worse than calling her fat. Yet, I don't believe she's ever been banned for any of this. And let's not forget the Sabra to Arab tier list. I'm not going to let that slide. Being Jewish myself, I know what Sabra means. It means a Jewish person born in Israel. And it's very obvious you were not talking about the hummus. Why would the top tier be Arabic and the bottom tier be Jewish? And why was Ben Shapiro in the thumbnail next to Ethan Klein when Ben Shapiro isn't in the video? Oh, maybe it's because he's a known Jew wearing a yarmulke. Maybe that's why. So, that's like not even close to the whole list of things she's done, but that's just one of the ones that amazes me that there was no backlash from the Twitch TOS. It's just openly anti-Semitic. And, there's a lot of other things that she said, but we're not going to get into all that. She's a raging anti-Semite. She's not even a real Islam follower. She's wearing a hijab for virtue points and then uses it for her defense whenever somebody calls her out, saying that you're just calling me out because I wear a hijab, which has got nothing to do with it. Nobody gives a shit that you wear a hijab, okay? You could be wearing no hijab and saying the same stupid shit, and people would still call you out. Nobody cares. You're not even a real Muslim. You're not. So just quit with the act already.
she didn't get banned for that. Now, let's talk about why I got banned this time. Well, it's actually due to two streamers, not one but two. And this is great. So, here it is, 7-day suspension for sexual requests, graphic or derogatory sexual statements, or unwanted sexual content. And you might be wondering, oh, techie, what did you do this time? Well, there are two streamers who have been really talking about me for months. Actually, what's crazy is talking about me for years. And their names are Denims and Minks. Yep. Oh, man. You know where this is going, guys. So this...
I know where this is going with Denims. I've never heard of this Minx person until now, so she must not be all that relevant.
Is a whole clip of Denims mocking my trauma about worrying about my father when I told a story about how when he was deployed, he got his legs... The skin of his legs completely blown off, as well as his ear cut off in the war, and her laughing in my fucking face and saying that he fucking deserved it and that I probably made up the entire story. That's the first clip. Here's the second one. This is Denims calling me a sexual predator on Kick. Very fun. To a total of...
I really hope these people get sued for slander. I really hope they lose everything they have, because the amount of damages that you can do to somebody, because all of these people, all of Hassan and his orbiters, the first thing they go to is calling people that disagree with them predators, whether it's true or not. They call them PDF files, they call them predators, they do all of these, obviously not at all provable slanderous allegations, and then expect nothing to happen. I really hope that Hassan gets his pantsuit off, both by Nuxtaku and hopefully Tectones and Asmongold. I hope everybody files a lawsuit here, to be honest, because Twitch TOS is not going to do anything. The people in Egypt running their trust and safety team and Dan Clancy and his administration at the top clearly do not care enough to do anything about this. And even if they did, it's still slander, and I would, in your situation, still sue. I wouldn't even hesitate to sue. I know why Nux is hesitant, because he's Jewish, and realistically speaking, if he has to give his personal information to the courts and then Hassan gets his personal information and then Hassan doxes that personal information to his crazy audience of extremist terrorist supporters that are super anti-Semitic and hate Jews. I recently saw when they were talking and Hassan was trying to actually, for once, disavow the crazy guy, the crazy illegal immigrant Egypt man who came over and started throwing Molotov cocktails and using a makeshift flamethrower at random people at an Israel rally or event, literally lighting a 87-year-old Holocaust survivor on fire. I saw him reading his chat, and in his chat, somebody said that this was not an anti-Semitic act. But Hassan himself said that the DC shooter was not an anti-Semitic act. These are the type of people that he surrounds himself with, where they have self-deluded themselves into the point that they think that targeting Jewish people for unaliving is not anti-Semitic. Make it make sense. So I totally understand why Nux may be hesitant, because if these people get his address and come to his house to, put him 6 feet deep, then yeah, I can see why it might be an issue, but I kind of still hope he finds a way to follow through with this lawsuit either way. Maybe see if the courts could grant some sort of protection, because obviously if the information comes out, we know where it came from. We know that Hassan was the leaker. So maybe there's some way to work around that little issue, since if Hassan has that information and leaks it, it will put Nux and his safety at risk. As for everybody else who does not hide behind a VTuber and is not Jewish, but his audience just hates them anyway, well, they're already public, so hopefully they sue and they win. I just really think lawsuits need to happen to teach these people a lesson. If you hurt them financially enough, they'll shut the fuck up.
Time of recording, 47,000 people. But if we go further, it actually reached 1 million people. And trust me, Denims and I have a very shady history, because I don't know why. This woman is absolutely obsessed with me. Now, here is Denims once again calling me a rapist and saying I can't sue her because it's not defamation, because in her words, I did that shit.
The reason Tectone can't sue me is because he did that shit.
And there's a whole bunch of other goodies in that clip. Yes, I want to let you know.
I want to clarify there's no proof that Tectones did any of that. So, as far as I understand it, there was some angry ex-girlfriend at him or something. However, I don't know the whole details of the situation, but from what he said, it doesn't sound like these allegations line up with what actually happened. So I'm fairly certain this is still slander and that he can totally sue her. And I think he really should. I think he should sue her.
That this woman is so obsessed with harassing me that she is now at the point where she knows that she might need lawyers in the very near future for slandering my name and defaming me on a daily basis. Yes, a woman who has gone live and attempted to call me a criminal, call me a rapist, tell me my father deserved to have his legs blown off and his ears cut off, which, by the way, she also calls my father a rapist as well. Which is crazy, because if you look into the court documents, the only thing that happened, there was no rape whatsoever. So once again, also lying on the truth. I've also shown documents of that.
Yeah, from my understanding, what his father did was show some women, some like inappropriate material on a computer that they didn't want to see, and that was the sexual harassment allegation. It wasn't like he actually, did anything to them. He just showed them something they didn't like, basically. I don't see how that is... I mean, I guess I could see how it might be sexual harassment, but like it's definitely not crossing the border into rape.
That on my Twitter. And the other woman is another woman. Minx. Known alcoholic. Known drug abuser. Known schizo. Goes live on Twitter and says, reminder, Tectone's dad is a rapist, and that I also have sexually assaulted 2 women, according to her. Another woman who is accusing me of crimes. Oh, and trust me, this woman is so deranged, she believes that she's lived with me.
Bro, what? Huh? I don't know who this crazy person is, but like I think you would know if she lived with you. What? Th- that that's one of the craziest things statement wise I think I've heard one of these crazy people make on the internet. I mean, I've heard some crazy shit, but like saying like she lived with you, if that never happened, is just wild. Like she's clearly just making this up just to make you look bad at that point. This is just complete slander. This is wild.
I want to remind you I've met Minx one time at the OTK Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, where I joined OTK. I have met her one time. Since then, I have lived with minimum a partner, a wife, or a roommate, or a girlfriend throughout my entirety of living here. Never once have I lived by myself. I have always had someone living with me the entire time I've been down in Austin. And this woman is so deranged that she thinks that I lived with her. Now, I don't know what gorgeous bald man with a beautiful beard she must be having sex with on a daily basis in her STD-ridden pussy to think that it's me, but I assure you, I have never lived with this woman. I don't even know this woman outside of a one-time interaction where there was 50 other streamers there. Now, you might be wondering, why did I get banned for 7 days on twitch.tv/Tectone? Why did Twitch deem me worthy of a 7-day ban? Because I called them whores. Yep.
What? Oh. So that was the entirety of the ban, was because, I mean, I brought this up earlier. I knew it was something like that, but I didn't know it was just that. That's like the whole reason. I thought like he might have said more than that. Like I thought he like actually went in from like what I like he actually just called them whores, and that was enough to get him a 7-day suspension. Where's the calling for the unaliving of sitting senators? I totally expected something much worse than this to warrant this 1-week ban. I cannot believe that calling a spade got you banned for 7 days. Twitch is lost, dude. Amazon needs to step in and shut that company down, or redo the heads of the company, get the trust and safety team out of Egypt, put it somewhere else, get the rules applied fairly, or y'all just gonna go out of business. The apocalypse is happening for a reason, and I don't feel sorry for you at all. I feel sorry for the streamers on the platform that make a living there that have nothing to do with politics and are just doing it as a job. But I don't feel sorry for Twitch as a platform. I hope every single streamer on that platform leaves and goes to Kick before it's too late. Or YouTube or TikTok, anywhere else. Really, anywhere. Just get off of Twitch. It's a sinking ship. They've already hit the iceberg. They're taking on water, and it's going down. You're going to be sleeping with the Titanic and the Titan submarine. That's what's going to happen. Y'all don't need to do that. Go somewhere else. There is money on other platforms, and it's better money. You need to tell your audience you're moving to a different platform, or at least start multi-streaming. Get them on another platform. Get them to follow you. Do not stick around on Twitch, or your career will end with Twitch.
I called 2 women with OnlyFans whores, which is, by the way, by definition, a factual statement. OnlyFans girls who are sex workers are prostitutes. Prostitutes are whores. Whores are prostitutes. Prostitutes are sex workers. I got banned for 2 weeks for calling a fat person fat. I got banned for 7 days for calling a whore. And now I'm sorry if that terminology upsets you, but the problem is,
If I were Denims, and I don't know this other crazy bitch, but if I were Denims, I would feel more offended by the fact that everybody thinks I'm a terrorist supporter. But she legitimately is a terrorist supporter and believes in that, so somehow she's not offended by that. She's offended by being called a whore, which she is. She's showing her butthole to the internet for money. And probably doing it with a bunch of random guys for money. I don't know. I don't follow her OnlyFans to know, but I can only assume what I'd probably find there if I did. But as far as I am aware, that is generally what OnlyFans is used for, to sell your inappropriate pictures and videos and leech money off of the people willing to spend it on your inappropriate photos, videos, and I guess interaction. So, by definition, you could at least say, yes, she is a whore, or at least an e-whore. Maybe she's not going out and, like, in the streets and, like, standing on a corner and, you know, taking money for sex, but she is definitely still, in a way, taking money for sex, just not in the traditional sense. I would argue that you don't have to be a prostitute to be a whore. I would say that the term is used in the English language to describe a promiscuous woman who does it with a lot of, you know, people, like you say men or women, whatever. But a woman that does it with a lot of people. I would say that's probably the dictionary definition. So Tectone's is right, even if his way of phrasing the defense there might be a little bit off, because I would say that prostitutes, yeah, they're whores, but I would say that, like, an OnlyFans girl isn't quite a prostitute. I would say that a prostitute is somebody who has sex with somebody specifically for money. So I would say that they are whores, though, because they are still showing off their body to everybody on the internet. That would be, like, my way of phrasing it. I don't think he's wrong, though. It's still a whore. Either way, a whore's a whore.
That doesn't make it any less true. And the reality is, when I go live and I tell the truth and I get banned for 7 days, and then you have these same women where I am only calling that out of defense. I'm only calling them that out of defense because they have provoked me by accusing me of crimes that I have not committed whatsoever. Going in on allegations that went fucking nowhere almost a year ago now. I think it's pretty reasonable if I call them a name or two. So I want to let you guys all know this.
It blows my mind that people on the left, like the far left, will just run with allegations that are obviously not true. Like, recently it was proven that the BBC printed a bad article that was completely wrong, where they tried to claim that Israel at the aid lines shot a bunch of Palestinian civilians. Completely false, but Hassan Piker ran with it. It was disproved. It was actually proved that Hamas shot those people after the food lines had already concluded. They were earlier in the day, and Hamas shot 27, I believe, Palestinians at around 7 p.m. The food lines were like several hours earlier, and they figured this out based off the shadows and a bunch of other stuff. So it was proven that this was not true, and the BBC retracted and corrected this. However, Hassan has been running with this. Oh, and he also was recently on a podcast where he said that Hezbollah was his favorite flag. You can look that up. Maybe I'll just throw it in, actually. I might just throw it in here. However, he said that in front of some gay people. I don't know how many of you are aware. Hezbollah is a United States designated terrorist organization that literally throws gay people off of buildings. So, do with that information what you will. However, these people really don't seem to care if what they're saying is true or not. They're just trying to further an agenda. It's propaganda, as Hamas Piker has admitted. And all of his orbiters, as well as him, do this. They push false narratives and propaganda to try to ruin people they don't like and push a progressive, or not even progressive, communist narrative. That's what it is. It's communism. A very extreme Islamic supremacist form of communism, but it's communism. And that is what's going on here. They just love to slander people, and it needs to stop. They need to face repercussions in court and realize that they can't keep getting away with this.
This is the same website where Hassan calls me a rapist, where Hassan calls Nuxtaku a pedophile, who calls Mudahar a pedophile, who calls Asmongold a pedophile and a mother killer, bringing up Asmongold's dead mother. No ban, no punishment. Mike from PA calls me a pedophile, calls Nuxtaku a pedophile, calls Asmongold a pedophile, calls him a murderer. No ban. Calls for the death of Asmongold. No ban. Denims, who was also called for the...
I brought this up earlier. Mike from PA and Denims have both offered their chats significant sums of money to unalive people they disagree with. Asmongold was the one Mike from PA was trying to offer $100,000 to unalive. So I don't understand how these people are still on Twitch. In fact, I don't understand how these people are still walking the streets. How are they not behind bars? It's mind-boggling.
The death of Asmongold, no ban. Hassan, who has radicalized his audience to supporting terrorism, no ban. Frogan, who supported 9/11, no ban. I call an OnlyFans girl a whore after she called me a rapist. A career-ending, life-ending accusation. They get no punishment. I get 7 days. Do we get why this is a problem now? Do we understand why this is bad? And sure, could you make the argument, well, he deserved it? Sure. But Twitch, I wouldn't have to make these comments if you guys would do your fucking job. If you guys were to ban people equally and fairly when they cross the line, then I wouldn't think that I can do the same thing as the rest of these fucking people. I suppose I'm a martyr. I suppose I can once again get punished for the wrongdoings of everybody else, and maybe that will put the fear in them to get their act together. But it won't.
Dude, Twitch is so screwed. Because it won't, because they're not going to enforce these policies fairly. Twitch is not going to enforce this on Hassan and his orbiters and people that they agree with. They're only going to enforce this stuff on people that they don't like. Tectone's being one of those people. They do this to Asmongold. They do this to anybody on the platform that says something even slightly out of pocket, that's not even that crazy. And they get seriously punished, as to where somebody like Hassan could call for actually illegal things, say America deserved 9/11, all of that type of crazy madness, bring a Houthi terrorist on stream and get a 1-day ban. Actually, he didn't even get a ban for that. He didn't get banned for the Houthi terrorist, but it takes some serious media backlash to get Hassan in trouble of any kind. It's usually a ban on his day off. So it's really just pointless. They don't get in trouble. They are favorited there. They are special. Twitch staff likes them. That is why they don't get in trouble, because they agree with what they are saying. Twitch needs the head of the dragon cut off to fix this. It needs to be replaced. Dan Clancy and the rest of the Twitch staff need to go. Amazon needs to step in, put a stop to this, and that trusted safety team out in Egypt needs to be moved to somewhere else, whether it be the United States or where it should be the United States, where it will be enforced fairly and without bias. Because this is not how a massive platform like Twitch should be running and treating the streamers on the platform that make them their money. Twitch would not exist without its streamers. And that is quite literally the problem Twitch is going to soon realize. When all of the streamers are gone, so is the money.
Because these people know they can get away with these misdeeds, with these malpractices, because you don't enforce your TOS fairly. You do not enforce your TOS equally. And this is why I will be streaming on Kick and YouTube every single fucking day during this ban. Again, this is pathetic rat fuck behavior. And Twitch, I would like to let you know now, 24 hours ago, I have already recruited over 55 streamers to stream on YouTube and Kick. It has now been 72 hours, and I have now recruited over 110 creators to stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. This is not a good look for you guys. This is a horrible look. You should be ashamed, because you know this shit is unfair. You know this shit is bullshit, and you can't have a TOS where you do not enforce it equally amongst all creators. And this is the reason.
Dude, Twitch is a sinking ship, dude. I really hope that all of those creators actually stick to streaming on multi-platforming, because the AdSense on Twitch is already dead anyway. When all of these creators realize they can make more money elsewhere, they're gonna go elsewhere. They're only, does Twitch think that these people are on the platform only because they like Twitch? They like Twitch so much that they're just streaming there because they really love that purple color. They just don't like the green color that Kick has. No, they prefer that purple. YouTube Red, get that away from me. No, I like purple. No, that's fucking got nothing to do with it, man. It's got nothing to do with you being Twitch. It's because they were making money there. And they just happened to go to a platform to live stream that's known for live streams. However, you're not exclusive anymore, dude. Newsflash. You could stream on like a bunch of websites now. YouTube, Kick, they're just a couple of TikTok. There's so many of them that you could stream on at this point. Twitch is like not even the biggest streaming platform. YouTube and TikTok outweigh it for streaming watch time. That's how bad Twitch is. They're in hot water. They can't even be the biggest in the thing that they specialize in. There are quite literally other platforms, and they have Amazon backing them up. One of the biggest companies on the planet. But they can't even be bigger than YouTube in streaming. The only thing that Twitch really does. People are going to leave. In fact, they already are, it seems. And I really hope that, for the people that don't, that Twitch just fixes itself and can make a comeback. Maybe we're in for a Twitch comeback arc, maybe. Who knows? I doubt it, though. Let's be real. It's probably not going to happen in time to fix this. Amazon probably doesn't fucking care about Twitch. I mean, maybe they do. Who knows? I don't know. It's definitely not a good look for Amazon, though. So maybe they will care. Maybe they'll just come in and shut the whole damn thing down. Or maybe they will rework it. Who knows? But at this point, Dan Clancy's got to go, bro. He's got to go. This needs to be done. You're just ruining the income of a lot of everyday streamers who don't make millions of dollars, who can't afford to lose their audience and platform in a night. So for those people, like I said earlier, go to a different platform and tell your viewers to go to that platform and follow you. You might, in the beginning, not have the numbers that you had on Twitch. Because if you've only done Twitch, that's fine. You will find new people on those platforms. And eventually those people are going to have to go to another platform like that anyway that are already on Twitch. Because when Twitch no longer exists, they can't watch anybody then on Twitch. Because everybody's basically banned because Twitch has been shut down. So there's like no Twitch to stream on. So just take this warning seriously and go to a different platform. I know I said this earlier. I'm reiterating it because it's important. And I'm worried about a massive streamer economy collapse that's incoming for Twitch.
And why you guys are getting fucking sued. And now you guys know that these people in a court of law can use me as an example of you guys unfairly, once again, misusing your TOS. I call these women a name as an insult when they are giving me life-ending, career-threatening allegations and accusations. This is the reason why so many male creators have disappeared over false allegations. You guys need to take this shit seriously. It's pathetic, and you guys should be ashamed. Now, I'm going to be over here on YouTube and Kick making way more fucking money than I ever made on your platform, regardless. And Twitch, I want to let you know, in 3 days, I have now made more money on Kick than I made in a month on streaming on Twitch. I do not give a about the money that I'm losing off of Twitch at all. I don't need it. I'm a multimillionaire. However, just understand, I'm not going away. And in 7 days, I will come back. And I will continue to showcase the hypocrisy and the blatant abuse of power being used by your moderation team that is treating your streamers like shit unfairly, besides the one you like. You should be ashamed. The best way to get revenge if you are upset on Twitch right now is to share this video, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and be there every single time I go live, so I can be a constant reminder of how this platform keeps on getting fucking worse. What a fucking joke. May God have mercy on your soul. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, Twitch is cooked, bro. Twitch is cooked. This is going to be the end of it. I don't see a way out for Twitch at this point. I mean, unban Tectones, bro. He never deserved it in the first place. You can't ban somebody because they called a spade a spade. They were literally saying literal career-ending sorts of literal defamation is what it is, but slander. They were calling literal career-ending slander was being said to him by these people. And you ban him instead of them. Twitch, it's time you look in the mirror and just tell yourself you're a dirtbag. And you can fix the fact that you're a dirtbag by enforcing your fucking TOS fairly. That's all I got for this video. If you enjoyed, like, share, comment, subscribe. Go check out Tectone. Share the video that he made. Get it out there. Share this video. All that good shit. Get the message out that Twitch is a piece of shit platform and doesn't deserve to stay around if they're going to act like this and treat their streamers and all their content creators as though they're some sort of disposable rags that they can wipe their ass with. Unless, of course, they're Hassan or his orbiters, because for some reason they get special treatments and they're, you know, too good to be the toilet paper. They have to be, you know, whatever. I don't fucking know. It's just stupid, man. It's really stupid. Yeah, as long as you support terrorists, I guess you're fine on Twitch. You know, maybe the T in Twitch is for terrorists, I guess. Anyway, that's all. Talk to you later. Bye.